What's up, people? Welcome back to Invest with T Claus. My name is Tevi, and this channel is dedicated to my investment journey along with coverage on crypto, Tesla, Neo, Virgin Galactic, and ChargePoint. Come for the information and stay for the perspective. So the stock market overall had a positive week, but Virgin Galactic unfortunately pulled back by a little over 9%. The earning call had a lot to do with it. Results were announced Thursday after market close, and you can see the steep decline immediately after. So let's talk about what happened. There's some good news and there's some bad news. I'll cover all of that in today's video and give you my take at the end of it. As always, this isn't to be taken as financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is my personal approach to investing and the thought process behind it. I'd recommend watching all the way through so that you don't miss out on any pertinent information I'll be sharing. Drop this video a like if you haven't already and hit that subscribe button. Those are two easy ways to show your support to the channel and help it grow if you appreciate the content. All right, let's get into it. All right, so where should we start? As I said, there's good news and bad news, right? So let's start with the bad news first. I'm sure many of you have guessed it or probably saw an article already, but Virgin Galactic announced more delays to the start of their commercial flight. Previously expected to begin in Q1 of 2023, it is now slated to be in Q2 of 2023. The reason? They highlighted additional time needed to complete the updates for the Eve Mothership Enhancement Program. Reasons called out were supply chain disruption and labor constraints. They did say that they're shifting resources around to make this a top priority, and I can't say that I'm all that surprised by the news, but it's disappointing nonetheless. Bad news number two, with Virgin Galactic being a pre-revenue company, two of the most important metrics to pay attention to here are their cash burn rate versus their cash on hand. Cash burn was $91 million in Q2 and is expected to accelerate moving forward. They're projecting to be in the $110 million to $120 million burn per month as we move forward again. R&D cost was part of the primary drivers. With the $1.12 billion they currently have on hand, that would be about 10 months, call it, of operations if no money came in at all, right? And that essentially takes them to Q2 of 2023 and the month of May to be exact. This then brings us to the second bad news, more stock selling. And they're planning to do that to raise more capital. Virgin Galactic is expecting to sell up to $300 million worth of share in an at-the-market offering. The money raised will be used, and I quote, for general corporate purposes, including working capital, general and administrative matters, and development of its spaceship fleet and other infrastructure to scale its commercial operations, end of quote. Now, even though this move makes sense, it would still be dilutive to current shareholders and add more downward pressure to the stock price. Last, but certainly not least, when it comes to adding downward sell pressure, having an analyst who used to be bullish on the stock turn bearish isn't a good look. Longtime bull analyst Michael Chermoli from Truist Financial downgraded the stock. You can see here that he is a 5-star analyst and for the longest time held onto his buy rating. He moved to a hold rating after the Q1 2022 earning call, and as of this Thursday, unfortunately, he now has a sell rating with a $5 price target. The constant delays to commercial flight will eventually wear down even the most bullish analysts, and especially when there's simply no expected positive catalyst to generate momentum in the near to mid-term. I know, this is a lot of bad news, and you're probably asking yourself, well, with all that in mind, what is the good news then? Well, it's a good question. Well, most of the good news was already announced and covered in my previous videos that you can find here. And so to sum it up, we had the partnership with Virtuoso to sell the remaining seats. We also had the partnership with Aura Science to build 2 next-generation motherships due in 2025. We also had the new final assembly factory in Arizona set to be fully functional in 2023. And that, of course, as a reminder, is to build out the Delta-class fleet of spaceships. The other thing to remember is that they're still in a very strong position with their balance sheets between now and Q2 of 2023, right? They have over $1 billion left to spend. And so in hindsight, when I think about this, Virgin Galactic likely already knew that they were behind schedule and would need to delay the start of the commercial flight. So from that standpoint, front-loading all of the good news announcements during the month of July would boost investor confidence and drive up the stock price enough so that it can raise capital with a bit less dilution to shareholders. So then, here's my take on all this. If I was expecting to see massive gains over the next 3 to 6 months, well, this earning call would have been beyond disappointing, and selling the stock as recommended by Michael Chermoli would be the right move. In the last few videos I made, I did tell you that I expected more downside and patience would be the key to getting the best deal on this stock. I called out the 50-day moving average as my gauge on determining the best possible entry point or price at which I'd be willing to accumulate more. What the graph here on the screen is showing you is the 200-day moving average versus the 50-day moving average. You can see how the daily stock price in black has been below the yellow line, which is the 50-day, as a steep decline took place. But now it's tracking very closely to the 50-day. The 200-day, which is the blue line, is still dropping, and with no catalyst, that will eventually cross the 50-day trend line. To put it simply, and at the risk of stating the obvious, the price action on Virgin Galactic is pretty bearish, and the trading window will continue to shrink, right? The bottom line is this for me. There is zero rush here. I will continue to DCA now that the price is once again below the 50-day. The goal is to get my cost basis below $10 before we resume commercial flight. And there's really no other way to put this than this is certainly dead money, at least until next year, which is fine if you're going long. And if trading is more of your style, well, those near-term gains are going to become increasingly harder to come by and capitalize on unless the entire market is rallying. The last thing I will say is this: being at the forefront of a new industry and paving the way isn't easy. It actually comes with a ton of risk, and space tourism and its viability as a sustainable business model still has to be proven out. If you think about it, Tesla's ascension to the undisputed market leader in EV, that didn't happen overnight, right? There were countless setbacks over the years. Virgin Galactic has the potential, in my opinion, to achieve greatness and truly set the standard for what suborbital space tourism can be. So long, of course, as they keep investing into the future and execute. The way I see it, this near-term price weakness based on the reported business execution, again, just my opinion, represents an opportunity. That said, being strategic about the buy points is absolutely the key. Now, keep in mind that my time horizon on Virgin Galactic is actually 5 years, so that's important context as you yourself are trying to figure out where do you go from here. Personally, I expect that, again, the return on investment will be well worth the wait by 2025, and certainly even greater beyond that point. But on that note, I'll leave it here for today. Don't forget to drop this video a like if it provided you some new insight and help you get a new perspective. Share with others who you think could also benefit from it. For my newcomers, subscribe and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you too can stay in the know. I'll be back on Sunday for my weekly video. Till then, you can keep up with me here on Twitter. Thank you for watching, stay humble, hustle hard, and I'll see you in the next one.